Okay, hello guys, this is an Empire's video, and as you can see I have highlighted Ethiopia, and if you're wondering, I spun the wheel and I landed on Ethiopia. And if you're wondering, Ethiopia is actually a really good country because Ethiopia historically had one of the best potentials, and could have become like the Japan of Africa, like that. And it's still growing because not even South Africa, Angola, or even Egypt or the Heart of Africa, Ethiopians consider it. So yeah. So first things first, what I'm going to do is actually very realistic because if you do not know, Ethiopia has had claims against Eritrea. So Ethiopia will start putting forces to invade Eritrea. So most of the forces will be in the mountains. Well, Asmara, I believe the capital of Ethiopia is. It's like right over here. So yeah, the first goal is to capture the Red Sea port. So therefore, trade is immediately eliminated with Ethiopia. Sorry, so Ethiopia gains trade before they spearhead to Asmara and capture it. As Eritrea, it's not really a good military power. So, wait, let me show you how it looks like. Ethiopia just annexes all of it. If you're wondering, Ethiopia used to control Eritrea as a communist regime. So, yeah. But Somalia isn't so happy, so they fabricate a claim against Ethiopia for the Walwal region. You see this little spike? Yeah, the Walwal region. So Somalia will start pushing into Walwal and then eventually meet up to the Djibouti border. But Somaliland declares independence. So wait, Somaliland declares independence from these guys. Let me get that in. So, pow. So yeah, Somaliland declares independence, which causes this whole front appear to lose traction, as therefore they cannot be supplied anymore. Not to mention, the Somali Civil War kicks off with a bunch of fighters. So I'll go color Somaliland black to show anarchy. Not that they black guys. Blackish color. This will show anarchy. So Somaliland falls into anarchy during the Somali War, so Ethiopia is easily able to push back into Walwal. As you know, a bunch of guys with guns aren't going to fare well against an actual military. So yeah, they will end up pushing greatly the Somalians out of Walwal before successfully reconquering all their territory and even starting to push into southern Somalia, where all the fertile land is. Eventually, the Somali anarchists surrender, so basically, Ethiopia just annexes all of it. So, yeah. You may be wondering, why am I not creating it so Ethiopia goes after Djibouti? Because I know Russia, America, China, and everyone who has a naval base in Djibouti will immediately invade Ethiopia due to this threat. So, here's how I'm going to have it. Let's say after this, okay, let's say this happens quite early on. So therefore, Russia, China, France, and Britain think it's more valuable to invest in the Ethiopian area because they control this area and they're much stabler than Djibouti, and they are actually quite profitable and not corrupt. So, I'm going to just do some quick shenanigans and assume that Djibouti loses the military bases, and yeah, what did you expect? So yeah, now Ethiopia controls most of the land, but there's a problem. So they decide to do a joint invasion of Yemen and Somaliland, so therefore they can control more over here and then push into Arabia for that sweet, sweet oil. So yeah, so they'll start invading Somaliland in right over here and up into the north, along with invading this Yemeni archipelago. I don't know why it exists, but yeah, they invade the Yemeni archipelago. So yeah, after this they do a southern offensive before doing 3 good juicy encirclements, something like this, which all end up falling, which causes the fall of the capital of Somaliland, which causes them to capitulate. So now, this is basically Italian East Africa plus Somaliland. So, yeah. Anyway, they will launch an invasion across the Aden Channel. The Aden Channel, I believe that's what it's called. The Aden Channel. Yeah, they successfully capture Aden before they push into the extremely fertile south of Yemen, where all the crops are. So, yeah, so they successfully capture it. Then the Yemeni civil war kicks off, which causes them to go into anarchy. And after a long while, Ethiopia successfully takes all of it. So, yeah, Ethiopia's having an incredibly good one so far. So their next plan is to try and unite all of the Arabia. So yeah. So the first priority is to invade Comoros, which goes expected. They conquer the Comoros. After all, the Comoros is a group of islands. So yeah, they invade the Comoros, and then they start pushing. Then they go on a massive declaration spree. Oman, UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and Kuwait. All of this to declare on Ethiopia along with Saudi Arabia. And Iraq is in a civil war, Syria is in a civil war, and Lebanon is also in a civil war. And Palestine is occupied by Israel. So, how would I put this? How can I make something lighter than white? You know what? I'll just use this dark color to represent Palestine. So yeah, all these countries cannot join due to civil unrest, and Israel ain't gonna join. I forgot to mention Jordan's going to join. So this massive this anti-Ethiopian counterweight along with Turkey, but they aren't going to do too much like that. So yeah, anyway, so and then I forgot to mention then Ethiopia invites Greece to their alliance. So, yeah, to help invade Turkey. So, yeah, along with some more anti-Turkey people, like that. And then, so first things first, a group of Kurdish rebels will start uprising in Turkey, believing that this war will cause enough instability in all of these countries to let them be free. So yeah, Kurdish rebellion, while the Greeks will successfully capture Izmir and also start pushing into Thrace. So yeah, while the Ethiopians will start pushing massively into Saudi Arabia along with Oman, something like this. Like that. All of this has been pushed into via Ethiopia. However, Turkey's forces is quickly deal with the Kurdish rebels, with the Kurds Kurdish rebels occupying them before being forced to occupy Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon to restore stability in the Middle East. So after a while, Turkey decides to annex them. After popular demands a new Ottoman war, like that. So after Turkey's invasion, they claim this land. So yeah, I forgot to mention they also gain Jordan and Palestine. So this big old nation is formed to counter Greece, like that, while Bahrain and Qatar are united. So anyway, they eventually push into the very north where Oman's capital is and capitulate Oman. So yeah. And after that, they move to Abu Dhabi and Dubai, which causes the UAE to capitulate. Which causes the UAE to capitulate. So yeah, they also start pushing out of the UAE and Oman. So yeah. Okay, so yeah, they push. So now Ethiopia slowly pushes into here, but the Greeks will push further into the new Ottoman Empire. So yeah, that's what I'm dubbing it, the new Ottoman Empire. They will successfully capture further more of the coast, but however, these guys will do a pushback in around Thrace and capture Alexandroupolis, right over here, encircling this tidbit before capturing it. So far, Turkey is going great, right? Except for the fact, but for Greece, it's not so great as they have to deal with Turkey. Now, Bulgaria. Now, Bulgaria has two main interests: Thrace and the Aegean coast. So either side could promise them that, but what calls out to them is the blue team, because if they join the blue team, they will be able to get the Aegean coast and like that, and also get Thessaloniki, and they also, because of this, invade Macedonia. Now Macedonia doesn't pose much of a threat, and I don't care if you confuse that Macedonia is called North Macedonia. So yeah, skill issue. So anyway, after the Bulgarian occupation of Macedonia, they will also invade Serbia, so they can get even more land. And so far, it's going so good. So they successfully invade the south, right over here, creating the the massive Bulgaria. They also invade Romania. So yeah, and capture the Bruja quite quickly. So this massive Bulgarian empire is making the people incredibly happy. Look at this. They took a bunch of it, and even better for them, Hungary will join. So they signed a draft to partition Romania and Serbia among Transylvania and Banat. Hungary would get that, while Bulgaria would get its occupied lands and also a puppet over the rest. So yeah, but so far with Greece, it's not so good. Bulgaria also pushes into the south and captures Thessaloniki, right over here, and then captures further and furthermore. So yeah, that's not it's not quite very well. It's not going good so far for the Greeks. So yeah, but at least on the coast it's going better as they land in the Gallipoli Peninsula and successfully encircle the forces over here. But they get supplies via Bulgaria, so it's not really encircled. But at least they segregated the Ottoman Empire and Bulgaria. So now Greece will continue pushing up, while Ethiopia will do its massive offensive into which it's been preparing for, all the way up to the Equatorian Peninsula. I believe that's how you call it. So they gain all of this land before they invade Kuwait, like that, and start harassing the Ottomans in Iraq. So yeah, they capture most of the southern areas of Iraq. So yeah, for Ethiopia, it seems quite good right now. But with Bulgaria and Hungary joining in, the Hungarians successfully capture Banat and Belfast, which caused the capitulation of Serbia. So it's going to be partitioned like this. Hungary would of course get the Banat area that they so desperately wanted. Wait, let me color this in. So yeah. Pow. Yeah, like that. I'm going to assure you it's going to look better soon. And then time for the borders. So so yeah, and then and so this is the borders of it, of the peace deal. Hungary gains a lot, and Bulgaria gains a lot from Serbia, and Bulgaria also gains a puppet in Serbia. So, yeah. Anyway, Bulgaria, Hungary, and Serbia are surrounding all of Romania. Will successfully capture Budapest now. So successfully capture Budapest and cause the surrendering of Romania. Here's how it's going to be partitioned. Serbia will get a very small chunk out of Romania, like this, Romania, while Hungary will get all of Transylvania, something like this. And Bulgaria will get its wanted lands over here in Dobruja and puppet the rest. So yeah. One color. This is the color I want. So yeah, for Bulgaria, it looks like it's going quite. Okay, wait. And snip, and snip. Cut. So yeah, and for Hungary, cut. And finally cut this part, and then pow, pow. So this is how, I don't really like the panhandle. So wait, one second, let me fix this, and then pow. So now this is the new borders of the Balkans. This. So yeah, Hungary is having a good time. So the Balkans is mainly dominated by the blue team, but Arabia is mainly dominated by the red team. So, yeah. And then Hungary goes on an utter spree, an utter rampage against all these nations. Their goal, unite the Hungarian Empire. Wait, wrong color. So they go Slovakia, Croatia, and Ukraine. And let me call Russia orange. I forgot to mention that Russia is still invading Ukraine. So, wait. Pow. And pow. So anyway, Russia will successfully capture what they already own. I will show you this. So I believe this is what they own so far. Well, no, that's not what I want. So I believe this is what Russia already owns from Ukraine, and I forgot to mention Belarus also joins. So now, after a while, Hungary successfully gets the Carpathian Rus. Romania, wait, I forgot to mention Romania gets Moldova. successfully gains what they want, aka all of Bessarabia. Sorry, I'm not very good and speedy at this. So yeah, now Romania got its coastline back, but not in Dobruja, in Moldova, or more accurately Bessarabia. So yeah, after and Czechoslovakia is also incredibly easy to capitulate, whereas they get Bratislava. Oh. So yeah, and Croatia, after capturing the capital, is forced to surrender. So of course Hungary will annex it all, as they are very hungry. So funny. So yeah, same thing with Slovakia, and then how, like that. And after the pressure of the Hungarian Ottoman, and the fact that the Ottomans are harassing them along with the Bulgarians, causes Ukraine to capitulate. So here's going to be the peace deal. So this area is going to be given to Russia. This whole area is going to be given to Russia due to the fighting, and I need to cut Belarus and so yeah, this is the borders of the massive Russian Empire, I'll call it. And then these guys. So these guys will successfully gain the Carpathian Rus along with Odessa as the peace deal. So yeah. And you may be wondering, how is this going to be an empires video? Ethiopia is not forming the empire. Oh, when Turkey, and Bulgaria are the ones forming the empire. You may be right, but here's the thing. It's not really fun knowing that no matter what, the empire is going to be formed. So I'm doing it all in one. I'm doing Bulgaria, the Ottoman Empire, and Hungary all at once, along with Ethiopia. So yeah, now what has Ethiopia done? Completely capitulated Saudi Arabia and Israel joins the war. They're not on Russia's side, so I'll paint them green. Yeah, I'll paint them green. So yeah, so the Israelis will start pushing into Palestine, of course, creating the Holy Land. So yeah, they'll push into the West Bank. And then and that's all they do, as they do not want to push further into the Ottoman Empire, as all they want to do is take the Holy Land. And so the Ottomans are forced to do a peace deal with Israel because they don't want to spread even more war with the USA. So yeah, and Israel also invades Egypt and takes the Sinai, because if you're wondering, Israel performed very well in the 6-Day War, and I believe that this performance. Wait a minute. Oh snap, I realized something. That's not realistic. Israel's rule is that they can only invade once they're invaded, so pretend I didn't say any of that. So, yeah. Let's just say, no. I don't see a really realistic way to make Israel invade stuff. People. So, yeah. Anyway, Ethiopia will continue pushing up and successfully capture Jordan. No. What? Anyway, will successfully capture Jordan and more of Iraq and bits of Syria, including Damascus. So yeah. Anyway, Greece is doing incredibly well in the West Bank, capturing almost all of this area, but not successfully capturing Istanbul, but still encircling Istanbul. So, Wow, Pow and Wow, Pew. So, yeah. So, yeah. Eventually, so, yeah. Now the Greeks are also able to capture Istanbul, and then they're also able, no, that's not what I meant. They're also able to push into Thrace with the massive morale boost of capturing Istanbul. So, so yeah, they have captured Istanbul, and then so yeah, and then Skopje, and then Bulgaria. They're just changing sides, and yeah, so they surrender, and Hungary inherits the puppets, but Serbia is incredibly easy to capitulate after losing most of their land, and Romania is capitulated once Odessa falls, and I don't know any other big cities, so I'll just assume that they capture like a bunch of major cities in Moldova or something. But I'm not good at Romanian geography, okay? So yeah, they surrender. And after a while, Hungary realizes that they're completely surrounded, but they will not give up till the last fight. So the red team will push quite far into Hungary, capturing a big portion of Transylvania, and also capturing the Kiev universe, like that, and captures it before furthermore is gotten. And then Hungary eventually capitulates once the Greek army marches all the way to Bratislava. You may be asking me, how did Greece perform this well? Well, it's simple. Some secret one has been giving them supplies. I'm not telling you who. Anyway, so after the capitulation and the security of the Balkans, the Ottoman Empire capitulates. So I need to rewind quite far to tell you this. So rewind. I can't rewind anymore. Nah, but no. So anyway, here's how it's going to work. Greece will get a protectorate over Bulgaria, Romania, which will be expanded into Moldova and also Odessa. So wait, let's see. How? Which will be expanded into Odessa. So yeah, Popal. All of this land is given to Romania. So yeah, how? But it's now a protectorate of Greece. So yeah, Russia will annex Belarus and Ukraine, like that. So, so anyway, they successfully annexed all of this land, as you can see. Anyway, what about Serbia? Serbia will get restored as normal, but Hungary will also become a puppet of them. Now, what to do about Turkey? So, the classic Magali idea is going to be shown and then be performed like that. So, Greece will get all of this land, and Pontus will be forced to be released by Turkey right over here, like that. So Pontus will be forced to be released by Turkey like that. what about the west? So now this whole the west will go to Ethiopia. So for all of this land purely Ethiopia. So no. Oh, there's a micrometer of a non-black square. So anyway, pow, and then pow. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, all of Arabia is now united under Ethiopian control. So yeah, I'll end it here. So anyway, goodbye guys and peace out.